My name is Sara, and I'm a contemporary mixed media artist, and I live and work in New York. I generally work with bronze, wood, textiles, a lot of objects that I collect from going to flea markets and different places, anywhere, anytime, just anything that really stands out to me and triggers something, an emotion, a memory. It's just really, sometimes I can't even explain it. I just collect, and then I start piecing things together. And as you can see behind me, there's like a textile. I used to work with the American flag a lot. I work with bronze a lot. These are cast arms from the body, and I cast them in white bronze, and I attach them to different collected objects that I find. And during this time of quarantine, I didn't have access to the bronze and the wood and the collected objects because I have to be out and about and searching for these things. And the foundry closed, and I was kind of like limited to what was in the house. And I have to make work. Like if I don't make work, I start going nuts and I become a menace to society, and it just gets really crazy. So to keep myself sane during this time, which I'm sure a lot of people had to find different things, different activities and things to do to maintain their sanity, I started collaging. And it was like a very organic and natural thing for me to do, because when I was younger, I used to paint and do collage work. And as the work evolved and I changed, I just stepped away from it somehow all these years, and I gravitated towards sculpture and heavier materials, and it just like disappeared. And that's how I think it is, like things, people, situations, when it's time for them to return, you have to let them come, and when it's time for them to go, you have to let it go. And the collage just like very organically came back into my life after like 20 something years. And I used to graffiti when I was younger, and like I just picked up like spray paint, and I picked up like ink, and like watercolors, and like I found my brushes from like the 80s, and like it was just like things that I only worked with like when I was a kid, like crayons and pastels, and like even like things in the house, like just like stuff like pens and pencils and magic markers and things that I literally hadn't touched in like 20 years. And I just and recently I dealt with a lot of like depression, anxiety, and addiction and things like that. And to be able to like deal with that kind of stuff, I became sober, and I became vegan, and I started running, and different things to just kind of like be a better person for myself, for the planet, and just like all life, like for people and animals. I just wanted to really just do a lot of like, I just needed a shift in my body, in my mind, in my soul, in my energy. And I've been running for about 7 years. And on my run, I come across a lot of like collected objects and things. It's really weird. I'm always coming across, I'm attracting that into my life always. And I came across really randomly the American flag. And it's these American flags that people use for like parades and things like that, like during very festive American filled with pride, nationalism, holidays. And as I saw it, I was like, should I pick it up? And I just like ran, I kept running. And after a few times on my trail, I was like, you know what, there's something here, let me just take this. And I brought it home, and the second I brought it home, it found itself kind of being incorporated into my collages. And it was just the most natural, organic thing. And I think that's how I've always made my work, like very organically and very naturally. And I can't force it, and it needs to just flow. And I take all these dark, heavy feelings, and I try to turn it into something beautiful, into something light, and into something that hopefully can give something to someone else and has layers. And I can just, it's strange. I take this stuff, and I'm like a vessel, and it just kind of like, I'm a conduit. It goes through me, and it becomes something completely different. But, it has those feelings and stuff that I was dealing with when I was attracted to those themes, or these, like I started picking up, let me just show you, images from books from war. And I always, for some reason, I'm attracted to like things about the human condition, like pain, violence, fear, war. For some reason just keeps coming. I don't know what it is. I just have to let it kind of flow until it doesn't anymore. It's just stuff that is coming up for me, and I just let it come out really naturally. So I started making these collages, and I'm really excited about them. And they're called Animals. It's become a new body of work, a new series that just happened really organically, because I had to sit still and let my mind kind of like guide me. And I hadn't done that I mean, I do that in the foundry and I do that with flea markets, but this was different. I had to sit still, and it was very limited access, and it was just, things surface when you're on your own, and this is what surfaced for me. And I treat it the same as like I would treat my collected objects, like and my bronze and wooden works. I try to beat them up and make them look lived and weathered, and because I don't like new shiny slippery things that make me very uncomfortable. So I try to have that same feeling with my collages. I try to kind of like beat them up and make them look scarred and imperfect. And it's taken on a life of its own, and it's saved my life during this time of quarantine, and I'm very, very excited about it. And I think I'm going to show you one of my favorite ones, and they're all very different. Some of them are black and white, some of them have that little flag in it, some of them have lots of colors, but I just go with my gut. I go with my instinct, and like everything else, and I just trust whatever's guiding me, and I let it guide me. And most of the time, all the time, beautiful things happen. Amazing things happen from just trusting it. And here's my favorite one. Let's see. This is one of my favorite, and this is with that flag that I found on my run. And I'm just really excited about this work. I never thought I'd go back to paper, even though I started or canvas or ink or paint, but it kind of flows with the rest of my work. I feel like it really just continues that language, that conversation. And I just love the textures, and like I pour stuff on it and make it super heavy. Like the backs are like so heavy with oils, and it's just like, I feel like I'm just pouring out everything that's like bubbling to the surface. And when I do that, it's a release for me, and something amazing always comes out of it. That's been my experience. I mean, look at the back of this one. So much heavy, heavy, heavy stuff. Sometimes we have to just let go and let whatever comes up come.